The dust settled slowly over the broken metal. Kang Taijun walked carefully through the wreckage, his boots crunching on scattered debris. The battlefield was quiet now. Too quiet. 3 days ago, this place had been full of explosions and screaming. Now it was just empty. Taijun was a soldier in the human coalition forces. He had been fighting in this war for 5 years. The enemy was the Veltharan Imperium, a powerful alien empire that wanted to control this part of space. His squad was on a simple mission today. They needed to check the area and look for anything useful before moving forward. "Stay alert," Captain Oyansu said through the radio. The Imperium left in a hurry. "There might be traps." Taijun nodded even though nobody could see him. He was 32 years old and had been a combat medic before joining Special Forces. He knew how to fight, but he also knew how to save lives. That was important to him. The destroyed transport ship sat in the middle of the clearing. It was huge, at least 3 times bigger than their own transport vehicles. The metal was twisted and burned. Parts of it were still smoking. Taijun could see expensive decorations on the walls inside. This had been a luxury ship, not a military one. "This belonged to someone rich," said Private Li Dongmin, walking beside him. "Royal family, probably," Taijun replied. He had seen ships like this before. The Imperium's nobles loved to show off their wealth, even during war. They split up to search the wreckage. Taijun moved toward the back section of the ship. The sun was setting, making long shadows across the ground. He was about to turn back when he heard something. A sound, low and weak, almost like breathing, but rougher. He stopped and listened. There it was again. A growl, but not threatening. It sounded like pain. "Hello?" Taijun called out. He moved toward the sound, climbing over broken panels and torn fabric. The growling got louder. His heart beat faster. What could it be? He found it under a collapsed wall section. At first he could not believe what he was seeing. A lion. A real Earth lion. Here on an alien planet, thousands of light years from home. The animal was huge, with a dark golden mane and amber eyes that stared at him with pain and fear. "Oh no," Taijun whispered. He knelt down slowly, keeping his distance. The lion tried to move but could not. Its back leg was trapped under heavy debris. Blood matted its fur. The animal was breathing hard, and Taijun could see it was very dehydrated. "Easy, boy. Easy," Taijun said softly. He had always loved animals. As a child in Korea, he had wanted to be a veterinarian. Life had taken him in a different direction, but that love never left him. The lion growled again, showing its teeth. It was scared and in pain. Taijun understood. He would be afraid too. "I found something," he said into his radio. "I need help here." Captain Yansu arrived 10 minutes later with 2 other soldiers. They all stopped and stared at the lion. "Is that what I think it is?" the captain asked. "Earth lion," Taijun confirmed. "Male, fully grown. He is trapped and badly hurt." "How did a lion get here?" Private Lee asked. Taijun looked around and found a control panel that was still working. He pressed a few buttons and a holographic screen appeared. It was a ship log, the automatic recording system. He played it back. The hologram showed the inside of the ship. It was beautiful, with expensive furniture and decorations everywhere. A female alien appeared on the screen. She was tall and elegant, with pale blue skin and silver hair. She wore a crown made of crystal, Princess Riel, according to the text on the screen. The recording showed the moment when the attack began. Alarms were blaring. Explosions shook the ship. The princess was gathering her things, moving quickly. "Your Highness, what about the animals?" An advisor asked on the recording. "Leave them," Princess Riel said coldly. "We have no room." "But the lion, Your Highness. He was a gift from the— I said leave them," the princess snapped. "They are just animals. I can get new ones." "Now move!" The recording showed her running to an escape pod with her guards. They left. The ship continued to fall. The recording ended. Taijun felt anger rising in his chest. She had left them to die like they were nothing. "That is cruel," Private Lee said quietly. Everyone agreed. Captain Yansu checked her watch. "We need to move. The Imperium might send patrols. We are behind schedule already." "I am not leaving him," Taijun said. "Private Kang." "I am not leaving him to die, Captain." Taijun looked at her directly. "She left him here like garbage. I will not do the same." The captain stared at him for a long moment. "You know this is against orders." "We cannot carry a lion with us, I know. I will stay and catch up with you later." "That is dangerous. You will be alone." I have been alone before. Taejun was already taking off his backpack. I am a medic. I took an oath to help those who suffer. That includes him. Captain Yeonsu sighed. She looked tired. You are a stubborn man, Kang Taejun. Yes, Captain. Fine, you have 2 days to reach the forward base. If you are not there by then, I am sending a search team. She pulled out a small device and handed it to him. Emergency beacon. Use it if you need help. Thank you, Captain. The squad left. Taejun watched them go until they disappeared into the hills. Then he turned back to the lion. The animal was watching him with those amber eyes, scared, hurting, alone. It is just you and me now, Taejun said. He sat down a safe distance away. My name is Taejun. I am going to help you. But you need to trust me a little bit. Can you do that? The lion did not respond, of course, but something in those eyes changed. Maybe it was hope. Maybe Taejun was imagining it. But he chose to believe. He spent the next hour working carefully. He brought water first in a small bowl from his kit. The lion was too weak to be aggressive now. It drank desperately. Taejun gave it more slowly so it would not get sick. Then came the hard part, the debris on the leg. Taejun worked through the night, using tools from his pack and pieces of metal from the ship. The lion growled sometimes, but it seemed to understand that Taejun was helping. When the sun rose again, the debris was finally clear. The leg was badly broken. Taejun gave the lion painkillers from his medical supplies. Strong ones. The animal finally relaxed and closed its eyes. Sleep now, Taejun said, gently touching the lion's mane. When you wake up, we start our journey. I am taking you home. Not the home you came from, but a better one, I promise. The lion's breathing became steady and slow. Taejun allowed himself to smile. This was the right thing to do. He knew it in his heart. Whatever happened next, he would not regret this choice. Moving a 200-kilogram lion was not easy. Taejun spent the morning building a stretcher from pieces of the crashed ship. He found an old hover cart in the cargo area that still worked. It was meant for carrying luggage, but it would have to do. The lion woke up slowly. The painkillers were working, which was good. Taejun named him Baek, which meant white in Korean. The lion's mane had white streaks in it that reminded Taejun of his grandfather's hair. Good morning, Baek, Taejun said. He offered water and some of his food rations. He had packed for a week, but now he would need to share everything. That was fine. He had been hungry before. Baek drank but would not eat at first. Taejun was not surprised. The lion was in shock and pain. Trust would take time. He kept talking anyway, his voice calm and steady. I had a dog when I was young, Taejun told the lion. His name was Dubu, tofu in English. He was very silly. He was afraid of cats but loved everyone else. When I joined the military, my mother took care of him. He died 2 years ago. I still miss him. Baek's ears moved when Taejun talked. Maybe the lion found his voice comforting, or maybe Taejun was imagining things. Either way, he kept talking. By afternoon, they were ready to move. Taejun carefully lifted Baek onto the hover cart. The lion growled but did not fight. The broken leg was splinted now, wrapped in bandages from Taejun's medical kit. It was not perfect, but it would work until they reached the base. The journey was slow. The hover cart moved, but not quickly. Taejun walked beside it, one hand always near Baek. The land was rough and empty. This planet had been beautiful once before the war. Now it was scarred with craters and burned earth. They traveled for 6 hours before Taejun stopped to rest. His feet hurt. His back hurt. But Baek was alive, and that was what mattered. Drink, Taejun said, offering water again. This time Baek also ate a little bit of the ration bar. It was not real meat, but it had protein. The lion's tail moved slightly. Not quite a wag, but not hostile either. Good boy, Taejun whispered. You are doing so well. Night came. The temperature dropped fast. Taejun set up a small camp and activated a heating unit. He sat near Baek, close enough to share warmth, but not so close that the lion felt threatened. The base is still a day and a half away, Taejun said. We will make it. I promise. Baek looked at him with those amber eyes. Taejun could see intelligence there, understanding. Lions were smart. This one had been through so much. Captured from Earth, sold as a pet, abandoned to die. But he was still fighting. Still surviving. You are strong, Taejun said. Stronger than she deserved. The second day was harder. Taejun's water supply was running low. His food was almost gone. The hover cart's battery was failing. They had to stop more often. But Beck was getting better. The painkillers and antibiotics were working. The lion even tried to stand once, though Taejun gently pushed him back down. "Not yet," Taejun said. "Let your leg heal." By the evening of the second day, they reached the forward base. It was a military camp with walls and guards. When the soldiers saw Taejun walking beside a hovercart with a lion on it, they did not know what to do. "Open the gate," one guard shouted. "Someone get the captain." Captain Oh Yeon-soo came running. Behind her was a woman Taejun had never seen before. She was young, maybe 30, with short hair and kind eyes. "You actually brought it," the captain said. She sounded amazed. "I told you I would," Taejun replied. He was so tired he could barely stand. The other woman stepped forward. "I am Dr. Han Subin," she said, "veterinary specialist. The captain called me when she heard what you were doing." She looked at Beck with wonder. "An earth lion? I have never seen one in person. They are extinct in the wild, you know. Only a few thousand left in sanctuaries. Can you help him?" Taejun asked. "I can try." Dr. Han moved closer carefully. She scanned Bayek with a medical device. Her face became serious. "The leg is badly broken. Infection is starting. He needs surgery soon." "Then we do surgery," Taejun said. "It is not that simple," Captain Yeon-soo said. "This is a military base. We do not have equipment for animals this large." "Use the human medical bay," Taejun said. "The machines work the same way. That is against regulations. Captain, please." Taejun looked at her. "I walked 2 days through enemy territory. I did not do that to watch him die now." The captain and the doctor looked at each other. Finally, Captain Yeon-soo nodded. "Fine, but this conversation never happened. Officially, we are repairing a damaged reconnaissance drone." "Thank you, Captain." They moved Bayek to the medical facility. It took 6 soldiers to lift him safely. Dr. Han prepared for surgery while Taejun sat beside Bayek, holding his paw. "You are going to sleep now," Taejun said softly. "When you wake up, the pain will be less. I will be here. I promise." Dr. Han injected the anesthetic. Beck's eyes closed slowly. Taejun felt his heart clench. What if something went wrong? What if the surgery failed? "Go rest," Dr. Han said gently. "This will take several hours. You look terrible." "I am staying," Taejun said. "You will be in the way." "I am staying," he repeated firmly. Dr. Han sighed but did not argue. She let him sit in the corner where he could see but not interfere. The surgery took 4 hours. Dr. Han worked carefully, using tools made for humans on an animal that was not supposed to exist here. She inserted metal pins to hold the broken bone together. She cleaned the infection. She stitched and bandaged. When it was over, she looked exhausted. "He should live," she said. "The leg will heal, but he will always have a limp. He will never hunt in the wild again." "That is okay," Taejun said. "He will not need to hunt. I will take care of him." "You plan to keep him?" "Yes. That is a big responsibility. I know." Taejun moved to Bayek's side. The lion was still unconscious, breathing steadily. "But I made a promise," Dr. Han smiled. "You are a good man, Kang Taejun. Strange, but good." Over the next 3 weeks, Taejun spent every free moment with Beck. He slept on the floor beside the recovery cage. He hand-fed the lion. He talked to him constantly, telling stories about Earth and Korea and his family. Slowly, something changed. Beck began to respond only to Taejun's voice. When other soldiers approached, the lion would tense and growl. But when Taejun came, Beck would relax. His tail would move. Sometimes he would make a soft sound, almost like a purr. "He has bonded with you," Dr. Han said one day. "In his mind, you are his pride. His family." "I am honored," Taejun said. He meant it. One morning, Beck stood up on his own for the first time. The leg held his weight. He limped badly, but he walked. 3 steps, then 5. Then 10. Taejun felt tears in his eyes. "Look at you," he said, voice shaking. "You did it. I knew you could." Beck walked over to him and pressed his massive head against Taejun's chest. Taejun wrapped his arms around the lion's neck. They stayed like that for a long time. Captain Yeon-soo watched from the doorway. She shook her head but smiled. "You two are going to cause me so much trouble," she muttered. But she did not sound angry. She sounded almost happy. Kim Da-eun was a reporter. She had been covering the war for 2 years, traveling with different military units to tell their stories. She arrived at the forward base looking for something interesting to report. What she found was more interesting than she ever expected. A lion? She asked Captain Yansu. An actual lion from Earth? Yes, the captain said. With one of my soldiers, Private Kang Tae-jun rescued it from a crashed Imperium ship. Can I meet them? The captain hesitated. Tae-jun does not like attention. He is a private person. Please, Da-un said. This is an amazing story. People need to hear it. The captain finally agreed. She led Da-un to the outdoor area where Tae-jun was sitting with Bayek. The lion was lying in the sun, and Tae-jun was brushing his mane gently. It was a peaceful scene, strange to see in a military base. Private Kang, the captain called. This is reporter Kim Da-yoon. She wants to talk to you. Tae-jun looked up. He seemed uncomfortable. I do not have anything interesting to say. I disagree, Da-yoon said. She sat down nearby, keeping a respectful distance from Beck. Tell me what happened. At first, Tae-jun did not want to talk, but Da-un was patient. She asked gentle questions. Slowly, the story came out. The crashed ship, the abandoned lion, the 2-day journey, the surgery, the bond that formed. Why did you do it? Da-un asked. You risked your life for an animal. Tae-jun was quiet for a moment. Because it was the right thing to do, he finally said. She left him to die. I could not do the same. What kind of person would that make me? Many people would have walked away. Then many people are wrong. Tae-jun looked at Beck. Life is life. Suffering is suffering. It does not matter if you have 2 legs or 4. If you can help, you should help. Da-un recorded everything. She took pictures of Tae-jun and Beck together. She got copies of the ship's logs showing Princess Riel abandoning her pets. She interviewed Dr. Han and Captain Yan-su and other soldiers who had seen the bond between man and lion. When she published the story, it exploded across the human colonies. Within days, everyone was talking about it. The soldier who saved the lion, the alien princess who left it to die. It became a symbol of the difference between humans and the Imperium. Messages poured into the base. People sent donations for Bayek's care. Children sent drawings. Veterans sent letters thanking Tae-jun for reminding them why they fought. One message said, "This is why we are better than them. Not because we are stronger. Because we care." Tae-jun did not know what to do with all the attention. He just wanted to take care of Beck. But the story had taken on a life of its own. The story reached the Imperium too. Princess Riel was furious. Her advisors told her that her reputation was suffering. Even among her own people, some were saying she had been cruel. It was just an animal, she said coldly. Why does anyone care? Because, Your Highness, it makes you look heartless, her chief advisor said carefully. The humans are using this story to show that we are cruel, that we do not value life. Then we take the animal back, Riel said. It is my property. They stole it. Your Highness, perhaps it would be better to... I said we take it back. Riel's voice was sharp. Send a formal demand to the human coalition. That lion belongs to me. The demand arrived at coalition headquarters within a week. Admiral Park Jae-won read it and frowned. He was a high-ranking officer, responsible for this entire sector of space. This was not the kind of problem he usually dealt with. He called Captain Yan-su. Is it true? The lion was property of the Imperium? Technically, yes, Admiral, the captain said. But she abandoned it. Left it to die. That may not matter legally. Sir, you cannot send Beck back. It would destroy Tae-jun, and it would make us look weak. Admiral Park rubbed his tired eyes. I know. But if we keep the lion, it could cause a diplomatic incident. We are trying to negotiate peace. Permission to speak freely, sir? Granted. If we give in on this, it shows we do not stand by our own values. That story touched millions of people. They donated money, sent support. If we return back now, we tell everyone that alien property law matters more than doing what is right. The Admiral was quiet for a long time. You are right, he finally said. But this will not be easy. The Imperium's lawyers are already drafting complaints. What do we do, sir? We fight. Not with guns, with words and law. and we make sure that Lion has the best life possible. Back at the base, Taejun knew something was happening. Officers kept visiting. Dr. Han told him about the demands from the Imperium. They want Beck back? He asked. Yes. They cannot have him. Taejun's voice was firm. He is not a thing. He is alive. He has feelings. I know, Dr. Han said gently, but the law is complicated. That night, Taejun could not sleep. He went to where Bayek slept in his enclosed outdoor area. The lion woke when Taejun approached. He made a soft chuffing sound, a greeting. They want to take you away, Taejun said. He sat down and Beck put his head in Taejun's lap. I will not let them, I promise. You are not going back to her. Never. Beck looked up at him with those intelligent amber eyes. If lions could understand human words, Taejun thought, Beck understood these ones. The coalition decided to conduct an official assessment. They brought in animal behavior experts from Earth. These scientists spent a week observing Bayek and Taejun together. The results were clear. Bayek showed strong attachment behaviors toward Taejun. He followed him everywhere. He relaxed only when Taejun was near. When they tried to separate them for testing, Beck became stressed. His heart rate increased. He paced and growled. But when Taejun returned, everything changed. Beck would press against him. His breathing would calm. Sometimes he would make that purring sound. This is a deep psychological bond, the lead scientist said. Breaking it would be cruel. The lion sees this man as his pride, his family. Taking him away would cause serious trauma. Even more than he has already experienced? Admiral Park asked. Much more. Right now he is healing. He is learning to trust again. If you take that away, you might break him completely. The Admiral made his decision. We keep the lion. Prepare a formal response to the Imperium. We will argue that abandonment negates ownership rights. The animal has formed a new bond and removing him would constitute cruelty. They will not accept that, sir. I know. That is why we are going to negotiate. Face to face. The Admiral looked at the scientist. Can the lion travel safely? If Private Kang accompanies him, yes. Then make arrangements. We are going to a neutral station. We will settle this properly. When Taejun heard the news, he felt both hope and fear. Hope that Beck would be safe. Fear of what might happen if they lost. I will not let anything happen to you, he told Beck that night. Whatever it takes. You are mine now, and I am yours. They will have to go through me. Beck pushed his huge head against Taejun's chest. In that moment, Taejun knew the truth. This was not about property or law or even justice. This was about love. And love was worth fighting for. The neutral space station was called Haven Point. It was built specifically for meetings between different species and governments. No weapons were allowed. No military action. Just talk. Taejun had never been to a place like this. The station was beautiful, with high ceilings and windows showing the stars outside. Beings from dozens of different worlds walked through the corridors. But Taejun barely noticed any of it. He was focused on Bayek. The lion was nervous. Too many new smells and sounds. Taejun kept one hand on Beck's shoulder as they walked, talking softly. It is okay, I am here. Nothing will hurt you. They were given rooms to wait in before the meeting. Admiral Park came to brief Taejun. The Imperium is sending Princess Riel herself, the Admiral said. Along with her father, Lord Velthon. He is the High Chancellor, very powerful. I do not care how powerful they are, Taejun said. They are not taking Bayek. Let me do most of the talking, the Admiral said. But if they ask you questions, answer honestly. Tell them what you told the reporter, about why you saved him, about the bond you have. I will. One more thing. We have our negotiator, Choi Hyun-woo. He's very good at his job. Trust him. Choi Hyun-woo arrived an hour later. He was an older man with gray hair and a calm face. He shook Taejun's hand firmly. I have read all about you and Beck, Choi said. It is a remarkable story. It is just what anyone should do, Taejun said. No, it is what anyone should do, but most people do not. That is what makes it remarkable. Choi knelt down carefully to look at Beck. Hello, big fellow. You have caused quite a bit of trouble. Beck sniffed Choi but stayed close to Taejun. He trusts you completely, Choi observed. That will be important today. The meeting room was large and formal. There was a long table with chairs on both sides. Cameras recorded everything. This was not just a private discussion. The whole galaxy was watching. The Human Coalition's side entered first. Admiral Park, Negotiator Choi, Taejun, and 2 lawyers. Taejun felt out of place in his dress uniform. He was a soldier, not a diplomat. But he was here for Bayek, and that was all that mattered. Then the Imperium's side arrived. Lord Velthon entered first. He was tall even for his species, with silver skin and purple eyes. He wore robes that showed his high rank. He looked old and tired. Princess Riel came next. She was exactly as she appeared in the ship's recording. Pale blue skin, silver hair, and cold eyes. She wore a dress that probably cost more than Taejun earned in a year. She looked at him with contempt, then her eyes found Bayek. "That is my property," she said immediately. "Your Highness," Lord Velthon said quietly. "We have not started yet." They all sat down. Bayek lay at Taejun's feet, his body tense. The lion's eyes were fixed on Princess Riel. A low growl rumbled in his chest. "Control your animal," Riel said. "He is not my animal," Taejun said. "He is my companion, and he is afraid of you." "Afraid? Do not be ridiculous. You abandoned him to die." "He remembers." Riel's face showed anger. "How dare you?" "Let us begin properly," Choi said, his voice smooth and professional. "We are here to discuss the custody of the lion known as Bayek. Princess Riel claims ownership based on original purchase. We argue that abandonment negates that claim." "There was no abandonment," Riel said. "The ship was under attack. I had to evacuate quickly." "You had time to take 17 pieces of luggage," Choi said, "according to the ship's cargo log. But no time for living creatures?" "I made a tactical decision." "You made a cruel decision," Taejun said. He could not help himself. "You left him trapped and injured. You did not even check if he survived." "It was an animal," Riel said coldly. "A pet replaceable." "He is not replaceable," Taejun said. His voice shook with emotion. "He is unique. He is alive. He feels pain and fear and hope. Just because he cannot speak does not mean he does not matter." "Your Highness," Lord Velthon said, looking at his daughter. "Perhaps we should—" "No, father. This human stole my property. I want it returned." Choi pulled out a datapad. "We have conducted extensive behavioral assessments. The lion shows clear signs of trauma from his abandonment. He has formed a strong psychological bond with Private Kang. Separating them would cause serious harm." "I do not care about its feelings," Riel said. The room went quiet. Even her own advisors looked uncomfortable. "Your Highness," one of them whispered. "Perhaps you should not—" "I will say what I want," Riel snapped. She looked at the cameras, apparently not caring who heard. "It is an animal. Animals do not have feelings that matter. They exist to serve us." Taejun stood up slowly. Peg stood too, pressed against his leg. "That is the difference between you and me," Taejun said. His voice was quiet, but everyone heard every word. "I understand that the ability to suffer demands our compassion. It does not matter if a being has 2 legs or 4, if it speaks our language or not. If it can feel pain, if it can feel fear, if it can feel love, then it deserves our care." "You are a fool," Riel said. "Maybe. But I am a fool who saved a life you threw away." Lord Velthon was watching this exchange with interest. "Private Kang," he said. "May I see the lion respond to both of you?" "Father, this is—" "Please, Riel, humor me." Choi nodded at Taejun. "Go ahead." Taejun stepped back from Bayek. "Stay," he said softly. Bayek sat watching him but did not move. Princess Riel stood up. She walked toward Bayek with confidence. "Come here," she commanded. Her voice was sharp and used to being obeyed. Bayek's ears went flat against his head. He backed away, a deep growl starting in his throat. His lips pulled back, showing teeth. "I said come here," Riel said louder. Bayek's growl got louder. His whole body was tense, ready to run or fight. Taejun could see real fear in the lion's eyes. "Stop," Lord Velthon said. "You are scaring him." "It should obey me," Riel said. "Why should he obey someone who hurt him?" Taejun asked. He moved forward. "Bayek, it is okay. Come here." Immediately, Bayek moved to Taejun's side. The growling stopped. The fear left his eyes. He pressed his head against Taejun's hand. "Good boy," Taejun said softly. "You are safe." The animal behavior expert spoke up. "What you just saw is clear evidence of trauma response. The lion associates Princess Riel with abandonment and pain. He associates Private Kang with safety and care. This is not trained behavior. This is genuine emotional response. Lord Velthon stood up and walked to a window. He looked out at the stars for a long moment. When he turned back, his face was sad. Riel, he said, do you remember why I gave you that lion? Father, this is not relevant. Answer me. Princess Riel looked annoyed. It was a gift from the Dravik ambassador, to symbolize strength and loyalty. Yes. And do you know why the Dravik chose a lion? Because they are impressive. Because lions are loyal to their pride. They protect their family. They mate for life with their pride members. The gift was meant to remind you that true strength comes from caring for those who depend on you. Lord Velthan's voice was disappointed. You failed that test badly. Father, I am ashamed of you, he said simply. The words hit like a hammer. You have made us look cruel, heartless. The humans are right. What you did was wrong. But the law says, I do not care what the law says. For the first time, Lord Velthan raised his voice. Some things are more important than law. That creature suffered because of your choices. And this man, he gestured to Taijun, risked his life to fix your mistake. He turned to Admiral Park. I renounce my daughter's claim to the lion. He belongs with Private Kang, where he is loved and valued. The room erupted. Princess Riel shouted in protest. Her advisors tried to calm her. The human side looked shocked but pleased. Lord Velthan held up his hand for silence. This decision is final, and it will be public. The whole Imperium will know what happened here. Maybe it will teach us something. He looked at Taijun. Take care of him, Private. I will, sir, Taijun said. His throat was tight with emotion. I promise. Princess Riel stood up, her face twisted with rage. You will regret this, Father. All of you will regret this. She stormed out. Nobody stopped her. She was no longer important to this discussion. The news spread across the galaxy faster than light. Lord Velthan's decision was broadcast everywhere. Princess Riel's cruelty was exposed. The human coalition was praised for standing up for what was right. But Taijun barely paid attention to any of it. He was focused on Bayek and planning their future together. Admiral Park called him to his office 3 days after the meeting. You have served your full term, the Admiral said. Your contract is complete. You can go home now if you want. Home, Taijun repeated. He had not thought about Earth in a long time. Korea, his family, real seasons instead of artificial station weather. With Bayek, of course, the Admiral added. The coalition has arranged everything. Transport, documentation, even a property where a lion can live safely. You did all that? People donated money, remember? A lot of money. More than enough to set you up properly. Admiral Park smiled. You became a symbol, Private Kang. People want to help you. Taijun felt overwhelmed. I just did what was right. And that is why they love you. The journey back to Earth took 3 weeks. Taijun and Bayek traveled in a special transport with plenty of space. Dr. Han came along to make sure Bayek stayed healthy during the trip. What will you do? Taijun asked her one evening. Me? Go back to work, I suppose. Dr. Han scratched Bayek behind his ears. The lion purred. Though it will be boring after this. Regular military animals do not compare to a lion. You could visit us. On Earth. Dr. Han smiled. I might take you up on that. Earth was beautiful. Taijun had forgotten how blue the sky was, how green the grass. They landed in a rural area far from cities. The property waiting for them was perfect. A house, a barn, and 50 acres of land surrounded by forest. This is your new home, Taijun told Beck. He opened the transport crate. Beck stepped out slowly. He limped still, probably always would. But his eyes were bright and curious. He walked around, sniffing everything. Then he looked back at Taijun as if asking, Is this real? It is real, Taijun said. We are home. Taijun's mother arrived the next day. She was a small woman with white hair and a warm smile. She hugged her son tightly. I have been so worried, she said. I am fine, Mother. She looked at Beck, who was watching from a respectful distance. So this is the famous lion. This is Bayek. His mother walked toward Bayek slowly. Taijun tensed, ready to intervene. But Bayek surprised him. The lion sniffed Taijun's mother carefully, then made a soft, chuffing sound. "Hello, Bayek," she said gently. "Thank you for coming home with my son." Beck allowed her to touch his mane. Taijun felt tears in his eyes. His mother always knew how to handle animals. That was where he got it from. Life settled into a routine. Taijun woke up early every morning. He would make breakfast for himself and prepare food for Beck. They would walk around the property together. Beck loved to lie in the sun and watch birds. Sometimes he would try to chase them, but his injured leg made him slow. He did not seem to mind. In the afternoons, Taijun worked on building proper enclosures and shelters. He wanted everything to be perfect. Beck would watch him work, occasionally batting at tools like a giant cat. Evenings were quiet. They would sit together on the porch. Taijun would read or just think. Beck would rest his head on Taijun's lap. These were the best moments. Peaceful. Safe. News still came from the galaxy. Princess Riel had lost her place in the line of succession. Her father was disappointed in her actions, and it showed in his decisions. She was now a minor official with little power. Some reports said she was bitter and angry. Taijun felt no satisfaction in this. He had never wanted to hurt anyone. He just wanted Beck to be safe. The Imperium itself had changed. Lord Velton had pushed through new laws about animal welfare. Creatures could no longer be abandoned or mistreated without consequences. It was a small change, but an important one. Some people said Bayek's story had started it. Taijun hoped that was true. 6 months after returning to Earth, Taijun got a visitor. Reporter Kim Da-un arrived with a camera crew. "I wanted to see how you were doing," she said. "We are good," Taijun said. Beck was lying nearby in the shade. "Happy, I can see that." Da-un smiled. "You have more visitors than just me, though. There are messages. Lots of them. People asking for help with other abandoned animals. Exotic creatures from across the galaxy that need homes." Taijun had not thought about that. "I am just one person. But you could be more. You have the land, the resources from donations. You have experience now." Da-un looked around. "You could build a sanctuary. A real one. For animals like Bayek who need a second chance." The idea grew in Taijun's mind. A sanctuary. A safe place for creatures who had been hurt or abandoned. He could do that. He could help more than just Beck. "I would need help," he said. "I know people," Da-un said. "Other veterinarians, volunteers, people who care. They would come." Taijun looked at Beck. The lion looked back at him with those wise amber eyes. "What do you think, boy? Should we help others like you?" Beck made his happy chuffing sound. That was how the sanctuary began. Over the next 2 years it grew. Dr. Han Subin came to work there permanently. Other specialists joined. They built enclosures for different species. They established protocols for rescue and care. The first rescue after Bayek was a bird-like creature from the Dravik homeworld. It had been kept in a cage too small and could no longer fly properly. They taught it to fly again. Watching it soar for the first time made everyone cry. Then came others. A canine species from the northern systems, reptile creatures from desert worlds, even some earth animals that had been taken off-world illegally and needed to come home. Each one had a story. Each one had suffered, and each one found safety at the sanctuary. Taijun gave speeches sometimes when people asked. He talked about compassion and responsibility, about how beings with power had a duty to protect those without it, about how true strength came from caring, not from dominance. "My friend Bayek taught me something important," he would say. "Love does not need to speak the same language. Kindness does not need to be repaid. We help because it is right. That is enough." 5 years after the rescue, Taijun sat on his porch at sunset. The sanctuary was quiet. All the animals were fed and safe. Beck lay beside him, older now, his mane almost completely white. The lion's breathing was slower these days. He slept more. We did good work, did we not? Taejun said softly, stroking Baek's mane. Baek lifted his head and looked at Taejun. In those eyes, Taejun saw everything. Trust, love, gratitude, peace. I am glad I found you, Taejun whispered. You changed my life. Baek pushed his head against Taejun's hand, then settled back down with a contented sigh. In the distance, Taejun could hear the other animals, the bird creature singing its evening song, the canines playing, even some human voices, volunteers working late. This place was full of life now, full of second chances. A news broadcast played on Taejun's datapad. He had forgotten it was on. The reporter was talking about changes in the galaxy. The Imperium today passed additional animal protection laws, the reporter said. Officials cite the famous Bayek case from 5 years ago as the inspiration. Lord Velthon stated that one human soldier showed them what compassion truly means. Taejun smiled but did not feel proud. He felt grateful. Grateful that he had been in the right place at the right time. Grateful that he had listened to his heart instead of walking away. They are calling it the Baek Protocol now, he told the lion. Laws to protect abandoned animals across the galaxy, because of you. Baek's tail moved slightly, the only sign he was still awake. As the sun set, painting the sky orange and pink, Taejun thought about Princess Riel. He had heard she was living quietly now, away from politics. Part of him hoped she had learned something, that maybe somewhere in her heart she regretted her choices. But mostly he just felt sorry for her. She would never know this feeling, this peace, this love. She had thrown away something precious, thinking it was worthless. She would never understand what she had lost, but Taejun understood what he had gained. Not just Baek, though, that would have been enough. He had gained purpose. He had gained a family of rescued souls. He had gained the knowledge that one person, making one choice, could change the world. Thank you, he whispered to Baek, for letting me save you, for saving me right back. Baek purred, a deep rumbling sound that Taejun felt in his bones. They sat together as the stars came out, one by one. Somewhere out there, across the vast galaxy, there were other animals who needed help. Other Baeks waiting to be found. Tomorrow Taejun would help them, but tonight he would sit with his oldest friend. The lion who had taught a soldier what it meant to be human. The lion who had turned abandonment into love, cruelty into compassion, and one desperate rescue into a sanctuary for all. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Those who cannot show mercy to the helpless do not deserve power over anyone, and those who show kindness, expecting nothing in return, become the truest heroes. Taejun was no longer a soldier. He was a guardian, a protector, a friend to those who had no voice, and Baek was no longer abandoned. He was home. He was loved. He was safe. That was all that mattered. That was everything.